The laptop sits on Dylan's bed like a shiny black tombstone for all my dreams. $2,000 of sleek gaming power that was supposed to be my ticket to anywhere but here. My hands shake as I touch the pristine surface, still wrapped in that premium packaging that screams of careful selection and premium pricing. I'm Reagan, and this is the moment I realize my family has been slowly killing me for years. Pretty sweet, right? Dylan leans against his doorframe, that trademark smirk playing across his face. Mom said I earned it with my good grades this semester. My good grades never earned me anything except more responsibility, more shifts at La Bella Vita, more temporary loans from my savings to cover family emergencies, more excuses about why this wasn't the right time for me to move out, start my life, breathe. That money was mine. The words come out flat, dead things that drop between us. Oh, come on, sis. You weren't really going to use it for anything important. He slides into his gaming chair, already dismissing me. Besides, Mom said, where is she? Kitchen, probably, making my victory dinner. He powers up the laptop and the startup sound feels like a slap. You should try the pot roast before you head to work. It's amazing. I find Mom humming in the kitchen, arranging vegetables around a roast like she's styling for a magazine shoot. The scent of herbs and garlic fills the air, but all I can taste is bile. How could you? She doesn't even look up. Dylan needed a proper computer for his engineering courses. You know how important his education is. That was my savings, 2 years of double shifts and missed holidays. Which you'll earn back in no time. She adjusts a carrot with scientific precision. Besides, family helps family. Dylan's future. What about my future? Now she looks at me with that expression that always makes me feel small and selfish. Reagan, honey, let's be realistic. You're working at a restaurant. Dylan has real potential. Dad chooses this moment to shuffle in from the garage, still in his work clothes. He takes one look at my face, at Mom's defensive stance, and tries to retreat. Robert, Mom calls out, tell Reagan she's being unreasonable about Dylan's laptop. He freezes, looking between us like a trapped animal. Maybe we should have discussed this as a family first. There's nothing to discuss. Mom's voice hardens. What's done is done. Reagan needs to accept that sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. The greater good? I laugh, and it sounds like breaking glass. You mean Dylan's good. Always Dylan's good. Do you even remember the last time you sacrificed anything for me? Don't be dramatic. Mom turns back to her perfect pot roast. You're 24 years old. Act like it. The kitchen timer dings, cheerful and oblivious. Through the doorway, I can hear Dylan's excited whoops as he explores his new toy. Dad has already disappeared, probably to hide in his workshop until dinner. You're right, I say quietly. I am 24. Old enough to stop pretending this family is anything but what it is. What's that supposed to mean? I don't answer. Instead, I walk to the calendar where Mom meticulously tracks everyone's schedules. I find my name scattered across various days in her neat handwriting. Reagan, cover Dylan's car payment. Reagan, help with utilities. Reagan, lend Mom for Dylan's textbooks. I rip the calendar off the wall, enjoying Mom's shocked gasp. Consider this my resignation from the family ATM. I crumple the pages into a ball and drop them into her precious pot roast. I'm done. Reagan Thompson, you apologize right now. But I'm already walking away, my phone in hand, scrolling through apartment listings. Behind me, I hear Dylan calling down the stairs. Hey, does anyone know how to set up a streaming account? I need Mom's credit card. I smile, and it feels like the first real thing I've done in years. They have no idea what's coming next. 3 days of silence feel like a luxury until Mom's number lights up my phone during the dinner rush at La Bella Vita. I decline the call, but the texts start flooding in immediately. Emergency family meeting. Come home after work. This isn't a request, Reagan. Your father and I are very disappointed. I'm plating a perfect risotto when Mr. Delgado appears at my station, his usually warm face creased with concern. Your mother called the restaurant line, says it's urgent. Of course she did. I'm sorry, Mr. Delgado. She shouldn't have. Take 15 minutes. Use my office for privacy. He pats my shoulder. But Reagan, remember what we discussed about boundaries. The memory of our conversation about toxic family dynamics makes me stand straighter. I head to his office, each step more determined than the last. Mom answers on the first ring. Finally! We've been trying to reach you for hours. I'm at work. This is more important. Dylan's laptop isn't working properly, and the warranty requires the original payment method. We need your card information. The laugh that escapes me draws curious looks from passing servers. You're joking. Don't take that tone with me. After everything we've done for you, everything you've done for me, like stealing my savings, using my credit cards, making me feel worthless compared to your precious son? That's exactly the kind of dramatic overreaction we need to discuss. Come home tonight. Your father agrees you're being childish. Put him on then. A pause. He's in the garage. Of course he is. Always hiding, always avoiding, always leaving me to face her alone. The laptop warranty isn't my problem. Neither are you. Not anymore. Reagan Thompson, if you hang up this phone... I hang up. My hands shake as I return to the kitchen, but I manage to get through 3 more orders before Dylan appears at the service entrance. He's wearing the smirk that makes me want to throw hot soup in his face. Hey sis, got a minute? No. He follows me anyway, weaving between busy servers. Come on, don't be like that. I need your help with something quick. Like setting up your stolen laptop? Jesus, you're still on that? It's just money. You can make more. He grabs my arm as I reach for a plate. I need your card for the warranty thing. Plus, there's this awesome gaming package I want. I wrench away from him. Get out. What's your problem? You always help me out. Not anymore. His face darkens. Fine, be a bitch about it, but Mom's really upset, and when she gets like this... Everything okay here? Mr. Delgado materializes beside us, and I've never been more grateful for his protective instincts. Dylan's expression shifts instantly to polite charm. Just a family matter, sir. I was leaving. Good, because this is a place of business, not a family counseling center. After Dylan skulks out, Mr. Delgado turns to me. Want to tell me what's really going on? I start to say I'm fine, but the words stick in my throat. Instead, I tell him everything. The stolen savings, the years of manipulation, the constant demands. By the end, his face is thunderous. You know, he says carefully, we have a management position opening up. More money, better hours, you'd be good at it. Hope flutters in my chest. Really? Really, think about it, he hesitates. But Reagan, you'll need to be focused. No family drama during shifts. I nod, already imagining the possibilities. A real career, my own place, freedom. My phone buzzes again, Dad this time. The text reads, "Please come home, your mother's crying. We can work this out as a family." I type back, "There is no family, just ATMs and users." Then I block them all. The rest of my shift passes in a blur of determination. I research apartments on my breaks, calculate budgets between orders, plan my escape with each perfectly plated dish. By closing time, I have 3 viewings scheduled for tomorrow. As I leave through the back door, I spot Dylan's car in the parking lot. He's slumped in the driver's seat, probably waiting to ambush me with more guilt trips or demands. I take the long way around, disappearing into the night before he notices. Let him wait. Let them all wait. I'm done being their safety net. I'm restocking wine glasses when I hear Mom's voice floating from Mr. Delgado's office. My hands freeze mid-polish, stomach dropping as her familiar tone carries through the kitchen, that perfect blend of concern and martyrdom she uses to manipulate people. We're just worried about Reagan's state of mind lately. The stress of this job seems to be affecting her judgment. I edge closer to the office door, which stands slightly ajar. Through the gap, I can see Mom perched on the visitor's chair, wearing her Sunday best and clutching her designer purse like a shield. "Mrs. Thompson," Mr. Delgado says, "Reagan is one of my best employees." "Of course, and we're so grateful for your influence. But she's been making concerning decisions, refusing to help with family obligations, ignoring our calls." She leans forward, lowering her voice. "There's also the matter of some missing money." The wine glass nearly slips from my hands. The fucking nerve. "Missing money?" Mr. Delgado's tone sharpens. Small amounts from our household account. We didn't want to involve the authorities, given her fragile state. But with this promotion, you're considering. I burst through the door. You're unbelievable. Mom jumps, hand flying to her throat in practiced surprise. Reagan, I was just discussing. Trying to sabotage me because I won't be your personal bank anymore? Please, sweetheart, you're proving my point about your emotional state. Show him your credit card statements, I tell Mr. Delgado. The ones where she used my card for Dylan's textbooks, or the withdrawal slips from my savings account, signed by her, not me. Mom's face hardens. I am your mother. Everything I've done has been for this family. No, everything you've done has been for Dylan. I was just the convenient ATM. That's not true. Robert, tell her that's not true. Dad steps out from behind the door where he'd been lurking, always hiding, always watching, never protecting me. Reagan, your mother means well. Did you know about this meeting? He studies his shoes. Answer enough. Mr. Delgado stands, his chair scraping against the floor. I think I've heard sufficient. Wait, Mom interrupts. There's more you should know. Reagan's been unstable since Dylan's birthday party planning started, jealous of the attention. Birthday party? The words taste like acid. What birthday party? A flash of panic crosses Mom's face. It's nothing, just a small gathering. Show him the receipts, Mom, the ones for the catering deposit you made. Using my card again? The silence confirms everything. I turn to Mr. Delgado, whose expression has shifted from concern to understanding. I can provide bank statements proving everything I've said, and police reports if necessary. That won't be required. He faces my parents. Mrs. Thompson, Mr. Thompson, I think you should leave. But now, before I call security. Mom stands, clutching her purse tighter. Reagan, this behavior needs to stop. Dylan's party is next weekend. The family expects you there. The family expects my wallet there, you mean? Don't be crude. We've already told everyone you're handling the payments. It would be humiliating to cancel now. I laugh, and it sounds like breaking glass. Humiliating for who? For Dylan. He's so excited. His friends are coming, his professors. Get out. Reagan. Get out. My shout echoes through the restaurant. Through the kitchen window, I see servers and customers turning to stare. Mom's face flushes with embarrassment. Finally, something she can actually feel. This isn't over, she hisses, storming out. Dad trails behind her like a shadow, pausing at the door. Reagan, please. She means well. No, she doesn't, and neither do you. After they leave, Mr. Delgado touches my shoulder. The promotion is still yours, if you want it. Even after, I gesture at the door. Especially after. Anyone who can stand up to that with grace deserves a shot at management. He smiles. Besides, I've been looking for someone with backbone to run the place when I retire. The word retire hits me like a thunderbolt. Possibilities unfold in my mind. Not just escape, but triumph. Success. A future they can't touch. Thank you, I say. I won't let you down. My phone buzzes with a text from Dylan. Way to make Mom cry again. Party's at 7 next Saturday. Wear something nice for once. I block his number too, then open my banking app. Time to close some accounts and open new ones. Time to plan my own party, one where the gift is my freedom. The apartment Mrs. Nguyen shows me is barely bigger than Dylan's bedroom, but it feels like freedom. Sunlight streams through the single window, illuminating dust motes and possibilities. Previous tenant left suddenly, she explains, watching me examine the tiny kitchen. Family emergency? But everything works. I'm calculating expenses when my phone vibrates. A text from an unknown number. Found your credit card statement in Mom's desk. Interesting reading. Meet me at Murphy's in an hour or everyone sees it. D. Mrs. Nguyen must notice my expression shift. Everything okay? Fine. I force a smile. How soon can I move in? At Murphy's, Dylan lounges in a corner booth, laptop open. My laptop, the one I thought I'd lost last year. Another piece of the puzzle clicks into place. Sit, he says, not looking up. You'll want to see this. I remain standing. What do you want? Funny thing about online banking, he turns the screen. These charges here, the ones to that sketchy website, Mom would flip if she knew what her perfect daughter was really spending money on. My throat tightens. Those charges were for online therapy sessions, but the website name could easily be misinterpreted, deliberately misinterpreted. You really are pathetic, I say. Maybe, but I'm pathetic with leverage, he smirks. Mom's planning this huge thing for my birthday. Professors, potential employers, everyone who matters. Would be shame if they all found out about her daughter's habits. What do you want? The party's getting expensive, plus I need a new graphics card for the laptop, and maybe some spending money for the semester. A waitress approaches. I wave her away before she can speak. So that's your play? Blackmail? He shrugs. Call it insurance. You've been weird lately, unreliable. This way everyone wins. You keep your reputation, I get what I need, Mom stays happy. And Dad? What about him? He'll do what he always does. Nothing. The truth of that statement hits harder than the blackmail attempt. I study my brother, really see him for the first time. The designer clothes bought with my money, the arrogant tilt of his head, the complete absence of conscience in his eyes. You know what's funny? I say. I actually felt guilty sometimes, for resenting you, for wanting to escape. I thought maybe I was the problem. You kind of are. Normal sisters help their family. Normal families don't steal from their children. He rolls his eyes. Whatever, do we have a deal or not? I pull out my phone, open my banking app. Dylan leans forward eagerly as I type. There, I say. Done. He checks his phone, frowning. I don't see any transfer. Because I just reported my card stolen and closed all my accounts. Good luck explaining those existing charges to Mom. The color drains from his face. You can't... I also emailed myself copies of every fraudulent transaction with dates and signatures. Touch my reputation, and I'll take everyone down with me. You're bluffing. Try me. I lean closer. I've got nothing left to lose. Do you? He slams the laptop shut. Mom was right. You've lost it. No, I found it. My spine, my freedom, my future. I straighten up. Keep the laptop. Consider it payment for showing me exactly who you all are. Reagan, I'm done being the family ATM, done being the responsible one, done with all of you. I walk out of Murphy's into the bright afternoon, leaving Dylan's sputtering threats behind me. My phone starts buzzing immediately. Mom's number, then Dad's, then Dylan's in rapid succession. I text Mrs. Nguyen, I'll take the apartment. Can I move in today? Her response comes quickly. Key under mat, rent due 1st of month. At a stoplight, I block every family number I know. Then I call Mr. Delgado. About that promotion, I say when he answers. I'd like to start as soon as possible. Everything okay? I watch a family walk past my car, parents holding hands, kids laughing. A normal family. Something I never had and never will. Everything's perfect, I reply. For the first time in my life, everything's exactly as it should be. Moving day arrives with an unexpected ally. Mrs. Nguyen's teenage son helps me load boxes into my beaten-up Honda, while his mother keeps watch from her porch. I'm almost finished when Dad's truck appears at the end of the street. Inside, Mrs. Nguyen commands, ushering me through her back door. Family drama stay outside my property. Through her kitchen window, I watch Dad park behind my car. Mom emerges from the passenger side, already scanning the street like a heat-seeking missile. Dylan slouches in the back seat, phone in hand. Found your new address in your browser history, he texts. Shouldn't use Mom's computer without clearing it. Mrs. Nguyen presses a cup of tea into my hands. Drink. Then decide, run or fight. Before I can answer, Mom's voice carries through the window. We know you're here, Reagan. Your car's still warm. I set down the untouched tea. Fight. The confrontation happens on Mrs. Nguyen's immaculate front lawn. Mom clutches a stack of papers like weapons. Do you know what these are? She thrusts them at me. Credit card statements, utility bills, Dylan's tuition installment. Not my problem anymore. You're being selfish, Dylan cuts in. Mom had to take out a loan. Good. Welcome to real life, where people pay their own bills. Mom's face reddens. After everything we've sacrificed, You sacrificed nothing. You just redistributed my sacrifices to Dylan. That's not fair, Dad interjects, finally finding his voice. We're family. Family, I laugh. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't blackmail. Family doesn't... Enough! Mom's shriek startles a passing dog walker. You're coming home right now. We'll sort out this rebellion of yours. I'm 24, not 14. You can't ground me anymore. No, but I can show these statements to Mr. Delgado. She waves the papers. Let him see what kind of person he's really promoting. Those charges were for therapy, to deal with you. Is that what you'll tell everyone? Your boss? Your new landlord? Dylan smirks. Who's going to believe you over Mom? Mrs. Nguyen chooses this moment to emerge from her house, phone raised. I believe her, and so will police when they see video I'm recording. Mom's expression shifts from righteous anger to careful calculation. This is a private family matter. Not on my property. Mrs. Nguyen steps closer. You want police involved? I have plenty to tell them about credit card fraud and elder exploitation. Elder exploitation? Dad asks. Reagan's grandmother's jewelry, Mrs. Nguyen says. The pieces Karen sold last year, claiming Reagan approved as power of attorney. The color drains from Mom's face. I feel my world tilt sideways. Grandma's jewelry? You said it was stolen in a break-in. Reagan, Mom starts. You filed a police report, made me file an insurance claim. It was for Dylan's tuition deposit, Dad admits quietly. We were going to replace it. Get off my property, Mrs. Nguyen interrupts. Before I press send on this video. They retreat, but Mom turns back at the truck. Dylan's birthday party is Saturday. People will talk if you're not there. Let them talk. I'm done performing for your perfect family fantasy. After they leave, Mrs. Nguyen helps me carry the last boxes to my apartment. They'll be back, she warns. I know. I survey my new home, tiny, sparse, but mine. But I'm not the same person they're coming back for. Good. She hands me a business card. My sister is lawyer, specializes in family cases, just in case. That night, I sit on my bare mattress, surrounded by boxes and possibilities. My phone lights up with a final text from Dylan. You'll regret this. Nobody walks away from family. I type back, watch me, and block his number again. On my laptop, I open a new document and title it Evidence. Then I start listing everything. Every stolen dollar, every forged signature, every manipulated moment. By midnight, it's 5 pages long. Let them come back. Let them try their usual tricks. I'm not their ATM anymore. I'm their worst nightmare. A daughter who finally learned to say no. And I'm just getting started. The promotion paperwork sits unsigned on Mr. Delgado's desk when Dylan walks into La Bella Vita with 2 of his professors. My brother's smile is a razor when he spots me behind the host station. Table for 3, he announces loudly. And we'll need Reagan as our server. Family discount, of course. Mr. Delgado appears from the kitchen. Reagan's not serving tonight. She's training for management. Oh, Dylan's eyes gleam. Interesting timing considering the investigation. The word investigation drops like a stone into still water. Mr. Delgado's expression shifts. What investigation? Nothing, I start, but Dylan's already pulling out his phone. These credit card statements show some concerning patterns. He hands his phone to one of the professors. Mom's worried about the restaurant's liability, given Reagan's access to customer information. The professor frowns at the screen. These charges are rather suspicious. They're therapy sessions, I say, but my voice sounds weak even to me. That's not what the website shows. Dylan turns to Mr. Delgado. Maybe we should discuss this privately? For the restaurant's reputation? Mr. Delgado's office feels smaller than ever. Dylan presents his evidence like a prosecutor. Carefully selected screenshots, edited bank statements, even a letter from Mom expressing her deep concern about my mental state. These allegations are serious, Mr. Delgado says finally. They're lies. Can you prove that? I open my mouth, close it. The therapy website uses a discrete business name for billing. The sessions were virtual. All my documentation is buried in emails I can't access since Mom changed the family account passwords. I need time to... We can't afford time, Mr. Delgado interrupts. Not with these professors involved. The restaurant's reputation is more important than the truth. His silence answers everything. Take a leave of absence, he says finally, until this is cleared up. You mean until I'm ruined? Dylan smirks from the corner. Family always protects its own, sis. You should have remembered that. I leave through the kitchen, ignoring concerned looks from the staff. Outside, the night air feels like ice in my lungs. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. Come home. We can fix this together. Another from Dad. Don't throw away your career over pride. My apartment feels emptier than ever. Mrs. Engian's sister, the lawyer, isn't answering calls. My savings are dwindling. The management position, my escape route, is evaporating. A knock at the door makes me freeze. Through the peephole, I see Mom holding what looks like a peace offering, my old photo album. I know you're in there, she calls. I brought something you might want. Against better judgment, I open the door. She holds out the album. Remember these? Your graduation, your first job, all those family vacations. I flip through pages of carefully curated lies, happy family photos hiding years of manipulation. Why are you really here? Dylan's party is tomorrow. She touches my arm. Important people will be there, people who could help your career now that you've destroyed it. We didn't destroy anything. You did that by abandoning family. Her grip tightens. But there's still time. Come to the party. Show everyone you're still part of this family. We'll tell Mr. Delgado it was all a misunderstanding. For a moment, exhaustion tempts me to give in, to crawl back to the familiar cage of family obligations and false smiles. Then I see it. Tucked between album pages, a photo I thought was lost. Grandma on her last Christmas, wearing the jewelry Mom later sold. The jewelry that funded Dylan's tuition. The final betrayal that broke everything. I pull away. Get out! Reagan, get out! After she leaves, I sit in darkness, surrounded by unpacked boxes and unraveling dreams. My phone lights up with another text. Dylan again, somehow using a new number. Last chance, sis. Party starts at 7. Wear something nice, or don't come back at all. I stare at the message until the screen dims, then goes dark. In the silence, I make a decision that tastes like ashes and freedom. Time to show them what real family loyalty looks like. I arrive at Dylan's party wearing Grandma's last surviving piece of jewelry. A simple silver locket he never bothered to steal. The house thrums with expensive celebration, crystal glasses catching light like warning signals. Mom spots me first. Her smile freezes mid-conversation with one of Dylan's professors. Reagan, you came. Her voice carries just enough to draw attention. Everyone, my daughter finally decided to join us. The crowd turns, professors, potential employers, family friends, all the people Mom and Dylan poisoned against me. Perfect. I wouldn't miss it, I say, pulling out my phone. In fact, I brought presents. Dylan appears beside Mom, champagne in hand. Sis, can we talk privately? Why? Afraid of what I might say to your professors about the laptop you bought with stolen money? The nearest conversations stutter to silence. Reagan? Mom hisses. Don't make a scene. Like the scene you made at La Bella Vita? Or the scene with the police report about Grandma's jewelry? More heads turn. Dad emerges from his hiding spot by the stairs, face pale. What police report? One of the professors asks. I hold up my phone. The falsified one. I have copies, along with bank statements showing exactly where Grandma's inheritance really went. That's enough! Mom lunges for my phone, but I sidestep. Want to see something interesting? I address the room. Check your emails. Every single one of you just received proof of the Thompson family's creative accounting, including the fraud that paid for this party. Phones start buzzing. Dylan's smirk cracks. You're lying. The therapy website you used to smear me, I got them to confirm their real billing name. The credit card statements you doctored, I have the originals. The police report about Grandma's jewelry, I have Mom's pawn shop receipts. She's unstable, Mom announces desperately. We tried to help her. By stealing my savings? By forging my signature? By selling a dead woman's jewelry to pay for Golden Boy's tuition? The room ripples with whispers. One of Dylan's professors is frowning at his phone. These documents, he says slowly, they appear quite legitimate. Because they are, I turn to Dylan. Still want to talk about family loyalty? He throws his champagne glass. It shatters against the wall where I stood a second before. You psychotic bitch, he screams. You're ruining everything. No. Dad's voice cuts through the chaos. We did that ourselves. The silence that follows feels like glass about to break. Robert, Mom warns, but he continues. We did this, all of it. We stole from our daughter, lied to everyone, and convinced ourselves it was justified. He looks at me with tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry, Reagan. Sorry doesn't fix my reputation, I say, or my career. Speaking of careers, one of the professors interjects, these financial irregularities raise serious concerns about Dylan's academic standing. Dylan's face drains of color. You can't. We absolutely can. And will. The party dissolves into chaos. Guests flee like rats from a sinking ship. Mom collapses onto the sofa, her perfect facade finally cracking. Dylan stands frozen, watching his carefully constructed future implode. You could have just played along, he says quietly. Been the good sister, the family ATM. You could have been a decent human being. Guess we both disappointed someone. I turn to leave, but Dad catches my arm. Reagan, wait, please. Let me try to make this right. It's too late. I know, but... He pulls out an envelope. Your grandmother's insurance policy. The real one, not the fake Mom showed you. It was meant for you. Mom makes a strangled sound. Robert, don't... Enough, Karen. For once in our lives, let's do the right thing. I take the envelope, feeling its weight, literal and metaphorical. This doesn't fix everything, I say. No, Dad agrees, but maybe it's a start. I leave them there, Mom crying on her expensive sofa, Dylan staring at his shattered dreams, Dad standing straighter than I've seen in years, their perfect family portrait finally showing its true colors. Outside, my phone buzzes with a text from Mr. Delgado. Saw the emails. Come see me tomorrow. We need to talk about that promotion. I touch Grandma's locket, smile, and drive away from the wreckage of my old life. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies. It's becoming everything they said you couldn't be. The management office at La Bella Vita feels different from this side of the desk. Mr. Delgado slides the final paperwork across to me, his signature already in place. Last chance to back out, he says with a slight smile. I sign without hesitation. Through the window, I can see the dining room filling up for dinner service. My dining room now. One more thing. He pulls out a familiar envelope. Your brother came by earlier. My hand freezes, reaching for it. Dylan? Said it was important you got this. Wouldn't leave until I promised to deliver it. Inside, I find a handwritten note and a check. The exact amount of my stolen savings, down to the last cent. Borrowed Dad's retirement fund to pay you back, Dylan's note reads. Seemed fair, since he helped steal it in the first place. Don't worry about him, he's finally standing up to Mom, getting counseling. Maybe I should too. No apology, no excuse, just acknowledgement and action. It's more than I expected, less than I deserved, and exactly what I needed. Mrs. Nguyen appears in the doorway, carrying a familiar silver tray. Special delivery for new manager. She sets down Grandma's tea service, the one Mom claimed was lost years ago, the one I'd seen hidden in our attic last month. Your father brought it by, she explains. Said it belonged with someone who'd appreciate it. The silver needs polishing, but the craftsmanship still shines through years of neglect, like something beautiful finally uncovered. First official decision as manager? Mr. Delgado asks. We could use this for the new afternoon tea service you proposed. I run my finger along the tray's edge, feeling its history. Actually, I have a different idea. That evening, I host my first private event as manager, a fundraiser for financial literacy and elder abuse prevention. The dining room glows with candlelight, Grandma's silver service taking center stage. Mom doesn't attend, but Dad does. He stands awkwardly by the entrance, looking older and somehow younger than I remember. Dylan showed me the check, I say. Good. It's a start. He gestures at the room. All this, you did good, kid. I did it without you. I know, that's why I'm proud. The words hit harder than I expect. Before I can respond, Mrs. Nguyen's sister appears with contracts in hand. Ready to discuss that business partnership? She asks. My clients love the idea of combining legal services with a safe meeting space. I catch Dad's slight smile as he slips away. Let him wonder. Let them all wonder. Later, closing up alone, I find a small package on my desk. Inside is Grandma's locket, the one I wore to Dylan's party, now restored and polished. A note from Dylan reads, "Found the missing photos, thought you should have them." Inside the locket are two tiny pictures. Grandma on one side, young and fierce-eyed. The other side is empty, waiting. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. We should talk. I don't respond, but I don't block her either. Some doors are better left slightly ajar, not for them, but for me. The restaurant is quiet now, chairs up, candles out. Through the windows I can see Mrs. Nguyen in her garden, watering plants in the dark. She waves and I wave back, remembering her first words to me. Drink tea, then decide, run or fight. I chose to fight. Not with fists or screams or even revenge, but with success. With boundaries. With the quiet power of walking away and building something new. I place Grandma's locket in my office safe, next to the contract for my new business venture and Dylan's check, which I may or may not ever cash. Some debts can't be repaid with money, and some lessons are worth the price. Tomorrow, I'll host my first major corporate lunch. Next week, we launch the partnership with Mrs. Nguyen's sister. Next month, well, that's still unwritten. I lock up, breathing in the familiar scent of good food and possibilities. Through the window, I catch my reflection, standing straight, standing alone, standing strong. The empty side of Grandma's locket waits for a new picture, but this time, I'll be the one choosing what fills the frame.